mental toughness, how to develop mental strength. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. But first, you know what time it is. It's validation time. And if you don't know what validation time is, it's where you send me validation and love by doing the things I request, which includes subscribing to the YouTube channel, hitting the notification bell so that you can get more videos. All other platforms, please like, comment, subscribe. Do what the platform requires you to do to send love through the computer airwaves and into my nostrils so that I can inhale them. Okay. Mental toughness, the key to success, persistence, grit, showing that you have that perseverance to face the challenges of life. That's essentially what this channel is all about, right? You've noticed that, some of the concepts I talk about tend to layer over one another and repeat, and I'm trying to hammer the message home because when it comes to it, self-improvement is nothing more than the adoption and implementation of a few key principles, mental toughness and mental strength being a core pillar of that. But how do you develop mental toughness and strength? How do you actually become one of the few people who follows through? Well, there's a couple things that you can do. And first, you have to understand that to become mentally tough, you have to literally wage war with the society that you live in. I talk about society all the time. Society, more and more, is being designed to keep you as weak and helpless as possible. Every message tells you that you're weak, that you're helpless, that you need someone to save you. The media does not send messages of positivity and personal responsibility. It's all outrage and blame. And then you have the food companies who are trying to give you food that makes you physically weak. You have big pharma and all these institutions that want your body to be weak and sick. And it's just basically this wink and nod between all these institutions of society that want to keep you weak because they understand that if the populace became aware and mentally strong and mentally tough all at once, it would overthrow the institutions that we have. These institutions rely on people feeling weak, people settling and being complacent in order to get the machine to run. You need the cogs. So your goal is to develop mental toughness by removing yourself from the system. Figure out ways to fortify your mindset by removing yourself from the system. Stop listening to the messages that you get from the media. Stop being around your friends who are infected with complacency and negativity. Stop putting things into your body that make you weak. Start making your body physically strong. All of these habits coincide from physical strength to mental strength. What you want to do is find ways to exert a little bit of stress on your body, enough for you to grow. That's how you build muscles. You exert enough stress that it forces your muscles to break down and grow, but not so much that you can't pick up the weight, right? So when it comes to your attitude, or when it comes to a new journey that you want to go on, or when it comes to getting into personal development, you want to consume and implement enough where it's going to stretch your brain, where it's going to stretch your effort level, but not so much that it's going to cause you to give up because it's too difficult. So of course, watching videos like this is a great start. I essentially, like I talked about in another video, brainwashed myself using self-improvement in order to get to the point where I'm at today. But I also implemented and iterated over time. You want to find something that challenges you, that pushes you. And you got to start at a level that's most comfortable for you. So if it's something like developing the mental toughness to sit down and write, if you have to start by writing 1 minute or 10 minutes, that's what you got to do. You have to start with the teeniest, tiniest steps, and each time that you pull through and make that step and grow mentally, what you do is send the subconscious signal to your brain that you're a little bit stronger. You want to get a little bit stronger each day, a little bit tougher each day. a little bit closer to personal responsibility each day. And when you do this long enough, when you get into this arena of learning and implementation long enough, you'll understand the true key to mental strength, which is simply understanding that you have no choice but to be mentally strong. You have no choice. If you want the life that you want to live to move in the direction that you want it to go, ultimately it's on you. And I know that's repeated over and over again, personal responsibility, but developing this mindset is almost becomes a conscious process of monitoring the way that you think, monitoring the way that you feel. So I will do this. If I'm faced with a challenge that I'm feeling doubts over, if I'm faced with complaints that I'm making throughout my day and excuses I'm making throughout my day, I kind of catch myself and I ask myself, is what I'm thinking in the moment right now going to be useful to me? Is this going to be useful for my future? See, it's not a matter of fairness. There are many fair and justified ways to be mentally weak. There are very many justifiable reasons why you should feel weak and helpless. Don't get me wrong. On the one hand, society spoon feeds you messages to make you feel weak, but there are also circumstances in your life that lend to you wanting to feel weak, that it's justifiable, but you still have to accept that responsibility and control your reactions. The simple cliche, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react. That's what it boils down to. And I look through so many situations that have happened in my life that were totally not my fault. Health issues that were totally not my fault. Circumstances outside of my control with relationships and toxic and negativity that weren't necessarily my fault, but I was left with kind of the wreckage of those situations, and I had to decide whether I would fall into bitterness and nihilism and blaming other people, or if I would take up that mantle and develop mental toughness. And the funny thing is, it feels so much better to have a little bit of struggle that comes with your success. You think you want an easy life. You think you want that easy life, but you want the strength of life. You want to be a hero that conquers obstacles and challenges. You want to be the center of your movie, but you actually want to be the protagonist. You don't want to be in the movie and be the extra and be sitting on the sidelines like most people are. You want to be heroic. And in many ways, what you need to remember is that overcoming your doubts and pursuing your dreams makes you heroic. Starting your little art pottery shop that you think, that's an act of heroism. When I see people who take the first steps towards building any sort of life that deviates outside of the normal path, it's an act of heroism to me. And I look at people and I try to help people because I know the feelings of angst and doubt that come with that. And I know that the problems they're going to encounter are never really physical. They're almost entirely psychological. It's so crazy that we're all caught up in this major psychological blind spot that keeps us feeling weak and complacent, where 99% of people don't follow through. But just remember that it's an act of heroism. And I will be with you every day. I will show you what those continued implemented steps look like. And I know that some of you are going to develop that mental toughness and strength. And that's why I want to show up every single day. Okay, You 2.0 is a book that'll help you get mentally strong. Download that on Amazon. If you look in the description below, there will be links to books. There will be a link to join my email list and get free motivational content every week. And there will also be links to my various social media profiles where you can love and adore me. And also check out the next video. Check out some more videos on the channel. Interact with me. Help me fortify your mind. I will see you on the next video.